estate, I broke it down into 3 simple pillars. To be successful in this business, I'm going to share with you how I've been able to build a solid foundation for my business, leveraging these 3 pillars of motivated sellers, cash buyers, and private lenders to help me bring in a consistent 5 to 6 figures per month for my business. I'm going to show you how you can do this as well. But before I do, I got a question for you. What are the 3 major challenges that you think investors are faced with when they get into this business? Let me see some ideas in the chat. What are 3 of the major challenges that most investors are faced with when they get into this business? What are some ideas and some suggestions? And again, I feed off your engagement. So let me see some of your ideas here. All right. So money. Yeah, that's a big one. All right. Serious sellers. So Emmanuel says sellers and buyers. There you go. Those are the 3. The cheat sheet was right in front of you the entire time. Sellers, buyers, and lenders. Those are the 3 big challenges that most people are faced with. And we did a survey with our community, with our audience, and these were the responses that we got from them. Sellers, buyers, and lenders are the biggest challenges they're faced with every day, every week, every month. And again, in many cases, you don't need money, but sometimes there are some deals that do require money. It doesn't have to be your money. And how do you get funding for those deals? Sometimes that can be a challenge for some people, and it prevents them from doing the business, getting started in the business, or struggling while they're in the business. But today, I'm going to share with you 3 unfair advantages or solutions to those problems. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is not theory. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to also show it to you in action, right? And again, you're going to participate with me as well as we're going through the class today, as I'm doing the demonstration, because I want you to see that this is real. I want you to see it with your own eyes, because me saying it is one thing. I want you to see it with your own eyes. I want you to see the exact same system that allowed people like Joy here to close her first deal, just under $8,000 on her first deal, right? Like Brittany here, who lives in California and did her first deal in another state, the state of Ohio, made $6,000 on her first deal, right? Let me ask you real quick, could you imagine making that kind of money, making $7,000, $6,000, $10,000 on a deal? What if you did that once a month? What would that mean for you? What would it mean for your family? How many of these types of deals would you love to do every single month, right? This is what I'm talking about here. It's a real opportunity. People just like you are doing this right now. I'm going to show you how you can do it as well. Now, let's dive into the challenges. Challenge number 1, a consistent source of leads. How many of you are concerned that you may not be able to generate a consistent source of leads? Let me see in the chat real quick. How many of you are concerned that you get into this business and you're probably going to struggle with generating leads? All right. So me. Awesome. Yes, me. Perfect. I am. Perfect. And thank you for your honesty, by the way. And here's the thing. Listen to me right now very carefully. If you do not know how to generate leads of sellers begging you, knocking on your door, begging you, please buy my property, you will not make any money in this business. Do you agree with that? Is that a fair statement? I know I'm talking to a lot of smart people here, right? So is that a fair statement? And honestly, that goes for any type of business. If you own a barber shop, a salon, a restaurant, it does not matter. If you don't know how to generate traffic, customers, repeat customers, you will not make any money. And the same thing applies to this business. If you don't know how to generate leads, how in the world do you expect to make any money? And this is the reason why most people struggle, why most people fail, is they suck. They suck at marketing. But I'm going to solve that problem for you in just a few. Now, challenge number two is funding. Funding. Most people, in some cases, might need funding for their deals, depending on the type of deal they're doing. But today, lenders practically want blood from you. They want your firstborn child. They want bank statements, tax returns. They want all these things before they even consider lending you money on deals. And it's no wonder people are like, dude, I don't got it. This isn't for me. That real estate industry, that real estate game, that ain't for me, right? It's not meant for me. I don't have those things. And so you forget about it. It's not possible. And then you keep moving. Right? But I'm going to solve this for you again today. Now, when it comes to money, cash is king. And although you don't need funding to do what I'm about to share with you, isn't it sexier and cool? Makes you walk around like when you have money, you're able to make decisions quickly. You're able to move faster, right? You're able to get deals done that others can't. And so having money behind you is a good thing. Is a good thing. And so you can get a lot of deals done. And the person that controls the money really controls the marketplace. And so while it's optional, I still want to talk about how to get it, how to source it, how to secure it to make you a force to be reckoned with. All right. Now, challenge number 3 is buyers. How many of you are concerned that, okay, well, let's say I get into this business and I find a great deal. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find buyers for my deals. Let me see in the chat real quick. How many of you are concerned with this? And why the hell would a buyer want to work with me? I've never done a deal before. How many of you right now are in your heads thinking about, well, I don't have the credibility. Why would someone ever want to work with me when I've never done a deal? I don't have the credibility. How the heck do I even market my deals to these buyers? How the heck do I even communicate with these buyers? Well, I see a couple of you saying me. You are concerned about this. All right. Someone says it's not an issue for them. They're an agent. Perfect. Awesome. But for most of you here, you are saying that this is an issue. All right. And so if it is a concern for you, well, don't worry. I'm going to solve this problem for you today. And the reason I love qualified cash buyers is because they think fast and move quickly, which means we get paid faster. So the solution to these 3 problems is what I call the automated investor system that gets you sellers, funding, and buyers on demand very quickly. There's no other system like this out there, and I love this system. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. And again, the 5 steps to virtual wholesaling is foundation, find it, figure it, fund it, and flip it. And before I show you the software, I want to dive into find it. Right now, I'm sitting at my house. I'm in my home office, one of my offices at my house. And as I look through my windows here, I live in a nice community. And if I were to drive down the street or even walk down the street, I cannot look at any of the houses in my neighborhood and tell if my neighbor over here is in financial distress. I can't tell if my neighbor across the street here is in bankruptcy. I can't tell if the person next to them just recently lost their job. I can't tell if the person down the street here is going through a divorce. The point is, I cannot tell with my naked eye what's going on with any house that I pass by. I have no idea. And so that makes it even harder sometimes to find great deals because you just don't know. But thanks to data, we've been able to leverage data to give us an unfair advantage. And so what types of leads do you look for anyway when you're trying to find what we call these motivated sellers? Let me talk about that a minute before I talk about the data and before I demo the software. So the types of leads we look for example, are absentee owners. An absentee owner is someone that owns a property, but they don't live in that physical property. So they could own the house across the street here, but they live in another house, maybe even in the same subdivision, or they live in the same city, or they live in another state. By the way, those are my favorite type of absentee owner leads, out-of-state absentee owners. These people have less emotional attachments to the property. And so those are my favorite lead types, or at least one of them. You also have people in bankruptcy. You also have bored investors, also known as tired landlords. These people have owned houses for quite some time, let's say 10, 15, 20 years. They've probably managed the properties themselves, and they're sick and tired of tenants calling them all hours of the day, whining and complaining about this and that, right? The toilet's broken. The dishwasher is not working. The washer and dryer is not working. The roof is leaking, right? All of these things. They're sick and tired of all these complaints. And so after years and years of owning these properties and managing these properties, they cannot wait to get rid of these houses. They probably made a lot of money during that time, but they can't wait to get rid of these houses. These are great lead types. Maybe you come across people in pre-foreclosure or even in foreclosure. Maybe someone recently inherited the property and they can't maintain the property. Maybe someone owns a vacant property, and this property in many cases can become a liability for them, because if they don't have the money to fix it up, to be able to put someone in there to rent it, well, someone has to still pay the taxes. That's money coming out of their pocket. And so in many cases, the house can become a liability. And if the grass is overgrown and all of these things that happen at the house, code enforcement can get involved and start fining them for, the condition of the house. It can, in many cases, it can become a condemned property. I'm sure some of you have driven by and seen some of these types of houses before. Hopefully now you'll be able to look at these types of houses with a different set of eyes, through a different lens. Now you can look at them as income, money, revenue, opportunities for yourself. Maybe a zombie property, right? These are other lead types. These are people who own the property, they're in pre-foreclosure, but the house is also vacant, right? So how do we take this information? How do we find these types of deals, right? We use what we call data. And so my company, what we have done is we have sourced data from many different companies, from NASA-backed companies, from public records, from other credit bureaus and data providers. We've compiled data, and we put all of this data from all of these different sources, some of them free, some of them very expensive that we pay for, and we put all of this data into our software, into our system. And this software helps us to make smart, intelligent business and investment decisions for our business. Did you guys know that there's a lot of information being created and collected and curated on all of us? Do you guys know that? Within minutes, literally within minutes, I can put any of your names into one of my systems, and I know your full name. I know the address you live at today. I know every address you've lived at in your entire life. I know every phone number you've ever had. I know who you pay your mortgage or your rent to. I know who you pay your car payments to. I know what car you drive. I know your license plate number. I even know where your car was last seen. I know your social security number. I know your driver's license number. Scary, right? All of this data is out there and available on all of us. In fact, I can get your email addresses. I can get your social media accounts, and all of this information I can get on you. I can also get on all of your relatives as well, because the system also tells me who your parents are, who your aunts and uncles are, who all your siblings are. And all of that information I can get on you. If I'm trying to track you down, these are the same types of systems that private investigators and credit bureaus and debt collectors use. If I'm trying to find you, and let's say for some reason the phone numbers on file aren't working for you, well, guess what? I'm going to call your mom, your dad, your uncle, your siblings, anybody, just to get a hold of you, track you down. All of that information is available on all of us. I even know what magazines you subscribe to. So what we've been able to do, again, is use this data and create a story on all of the houses in America. So now all the houses in America have their own story. And so we use this tool, we use this system now to help us make smart, intelligent business and investment decisions for our business. You guys ready to see how it works? Hey, Dolmar here. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Be sure to drop a like and comment if you enjoyed it. And by the way, I have so much more amazing, sexy content coming up on real estate investing, entrepreneurship, and so much more. So be sure to subscribe, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss another video or upload. And by the way, follow me on Instagram as well. It's Dolmar Cross on Instagram, so you don't want to miss any of my content there either. And finally, check out automatedinvestor.com if you want to learn more about real estate investing, how you can get started with no money, no credit, no real estate license, so you can also change your life and make a lot of money in the process, all right? Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.